All right, awesome. Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm super excited to kick off tonight's Tuesday night Zoom. My name's Crystal Pearl. I'm an Ambassador Diamond for anybody who has not met me yet. I know BOGO is going on right now, and we've added a ton of people to our team in the last couple days, which is super exciting. So we might have some newbies on with us tonight. And I'm really, really excited for this night. Or this week's Zoom, because we have the awesome Pam Hadler on with us. And she is somebody who I just absolutely love. She has taught me so much. We've become really great friends, and she's just an amazing leader and an amazing rock star in this business. So I'm super excited to have her on. Thanks for being on, Pam.
You are welcome. And if you know me well, you know where that comes from. So hi. Right, Melissa? Right?
I love it. Okay. So Pam, introduce yourself for everybody who doesn't know you, and just share a little bit about your story and how you got started with It Works.
Okay. So like she said, my name is Pam Hadler, and I hope this Zoom goes out to lots of people because I worked really hard so I'm glad it's being recorded. My appearance tonight. Isn't this what we love about this business, though? Like, you can be you, and it just is what it is. Anyway, I live in Farmington, Minnesota, which is a southern suburb of the Twin Cities. And in 6 days, it will be my 5-year anniversary with It Works. I can't even believe that. When I joined, my kids were 5, 7, and 9. I now have a high schooler this year. I'm old. Anyway, so when I started, I actually found out about this crazy wrap thing at a chiropractic seminar, because I am a chiropractor. And I was just there doing my thing. And it was actually Lynn and Crystal that were there. I don't remember Crystal being there at all, which I feel terrible about, but Lynn is the one who ended up wrapping me. I thought it was the dumbest thing I had ever heard of, ever seen. I had no interest in it whatsoever. But what happened is 2 of my friends there wrapped. And what happens, at least for me, when your friend does something, like you go to the bathroom together. So we wrapped together. And I had good results in those 45 minutes. Back then, we measured, and there weren't photo apps and things like that like there are now. And so we measured. And in that 45 minutes, I lost 1.5 inches, which I was like, I was a little bit pissed off, actually, because I was like the biggest person there, and I lost the least amount of inches. I'm like, what? But 3, I was down 8.5 inches, which was crazy for me. So, distributor with of working the better. I had loving what I was doing. Can you hear me? I've got crappy internet. Can you hear me, Crystal?
You can now. It was cutting out a little.
I'm sorry, my internet is. Anyway. So had no intention of doing the business, but signed up to be a distributor because I thought, I could throw them on the shelves in my office, make a couple extra bucks. Always looking for we called it back end, right? And so that's what I did. And I very innocently posted something on Facebook about it. I think I was probably fairly new to the Facebook world at the time, and certainly didn't use it very much. And I had all these people message me, what is this? How can I do this? And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Really? And right away, my business brain went off, because I thought, you know what? If I could make a little bit of extra money, maybe this would be a good thing. And kind of going back before that, I'm going to go back and forth with my story for a second. But so, like I said, I had this family practice. I had been practicing chiropractic since 1997. Opened my own clinic in 2001, loved what I did. But, when I opened my office, I didn't have kids. My life looked very different. And the economy was booming, right? If anybody remembers that time of the economy, it was booming. And in 2007, the housing market crashed, and then the economy kind of crashed, if people remember that at all. Some of you might be too young to remember that. In fact, we bought our house at the height of the market, and like within a week, we were about $150,000 upside down on our house. Like, it was ridiculous. And what happened was I went from, having a really, really vibrant, busy practice to people all of a sudden deciding that healthcare was no longer a priority for them. It was a luxury. And my collections in my office went down by $100,000 in 6 months. And that's a significant amount of money when you're a small business owner. So from the outside looking in, everything seemed great for us, like married, 3 kids, I've got this practice, I'm a doctor, got the house, got the car, all that. But the truth was that my husband and I were separated. We were having major struggles in our marriage. The economy had crashed. We were struggling big time, like on the verge of losing our house. And I was just so stressed out that it was making me sick. And so I had actually been secretly praying for an opportunity to ease my stress. And the biggest stress that I actually had, and this is where I get a little emotional and teary, is I was missing my kids growing up. I wasn't there when they got on the bus in the morning. I was often gone because I started seeing patients at 7 in the morning, so I'd be gone before they even got up in the morning. And I'd see patients till 6 o'clock at night. So there was no being a, volunteer in a field trip. There was no being a parent or whatever. There was no getting them to their sports. If I made it to, they were just starting activities. If I made it to dance or anything like that, it was a lucky day. And I was really missing the kids growing up. And so it was really, I had been praying for quite a while for an opportunity just to lessen my stress with my kids. I never ever thought I would do something different because I went to school for 8 years. I spent a lot of money on my education, and I wasn't looking for something different. I was just looking for something to ease my stress. And I had no idea that It Works would be that for me. So anyway, I got wrapped, I signed up, posted something on Facebook, all these people went, and my business brain went off. And I thought, gosh, if I could make an extra $800 a month, that'd be huge for me because that was my student loan payment. And I knew that if I could just do that $800 a month and pay my student loans, it would just lift a big burden from me. And maybe I could cut out on an afternoon and actually get to go to something with my kids, that kind of a thing. So that's what I was looking to do. And so I just got busy. The people that messaged me, I actually found myself, I hit the road and I went down to Des Moines, which is like 4 hours away. I had a cousin from there, a friend from chiropractic school, and on the way I called another friend. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but you should sign up. And she's like, okay. And she signed up. And I went Ruby in 9 days, which was crazy because I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew, I was doing something right. And I had all these people were excited. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very anti the supplements because, I thought I knew everything and I was the supplement snob and, their stuff can't be that good or whatever. So I was just schlepping wraps. And I remember sitting on the floor in my aunt's salon and with just papers everywhere and people were asking me, all these questions. And I'm like, I have no idea, but I'll find out for you. I have no idea, but I'll find out for you. And I just signed customers and I signed distributors. And that's how, I was totally ignorance on fire. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So I went Ruby in 9 days, and I made that extra money very quickly, and that was my goal. And I sat there for 4 months because, I made my goal. I had nothing else to do. And January came, and I actually had tickets to conference that January, and I didn't go. That year it was $179 for conference, and they gave you a $179 product credit. So I was like, sweet. I got my free products, and Sarah Rowland and I are like, yeah, let's not go. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit, but it's the biggest regret I have in my business. But they announced the diamond bonus at that conference, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna actually see if I can do something with this. Like, I'm an all-in person. I'm either cannonballing or I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna dip my toes on the side. And so I went for it, and I started following up with people. I went and I met so many people that I would call, and God, they answered the phone. I didn't know what I was saying. I'm just an idiot. I'd go to their house. I never told anybody where I was going. I had some people that are like, weren't you worried about that? I'm like, I didn't even think about that. Like, I just went and put the wrap on people and signed people up. And 4 months later, I went triple diamond. So that month in February, I think it was, I went emerald, I think. March, I went diamond. April, I went double. May, I went triple. Crystal and I actually went triple diamond the same month. Mm-hmm. Like, it was crazy. And so I got the $10,000 good bonus. I got my husband to diamond during that time. He got the $10,000 good bonus, and it was just crazy. It was such a ride. And fast forward 4 years later, I'm still triple diamond, but it's been an interesting journey, and I can share more about that. I actually sold my chiropractic practice 3 years ago. This is all I do now. my husband came home last year, so he is done. Well, he was done with his full-time job. He's actually going to do some contract work because he's bored. We haven't quite figured out his fit in our business yet. He's not really a Josh Pearl in that way, and that's okay. That's an okay thing to know too. That not everybody is going to be like this. You know, if you know my husband, he's a man of many words or a few words. So it's fine. You know, our marriage is restored. I'm here with my kids. I'm getting them on the bus in the morning. I'm doing stuff during the day. I'm here when they get home, and I'm helping them with their homework. And life is just very different for me. I still see some people in my house because I love chiropractic. You know, what I didn't love was being away from my kids. What I didn't love was insurance, dealing with insurance. I didn't love somebody else telling me how I could practice and how much they were going to pay me. I did not like dealing with employees. There were like so many things that went with it that were just not a good fit for me and for my family. And this is awesome because I still have I'm able to just fill up my cup with helping people, whether it's getting healthier, you know, helping them with their business, with their wealth. I love coaching people. It's just been a great fit for me. And I really, truly have found my passion again in this business. And for whatever reason, I skidded for a while. And that happens for people. I don't know why, it just did. And 5 years into this business, I have never been more excited than I am right now with my business. And it's kind of cool to be at that place again and really have found your fire and your hunger. And I have a child who's dancing in front of me, so I'm slightly distracted right now. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of my blurb.
Awesome. I love it. So I just wrote down some questions. We'll see how much time we have, if we get through them all or not. But I wanted to make sure I kept it on track because I just feel like I've learned so much from you and you have such a wealth of information. But one thing that I know that we get questions about all the time, and you probably get this all the time, is if I want to talk to my chiropractor about this business, or let's just really say any professional, but if I want to talk to my chiropractor about this business, what do I need to do? What should I say? What should I focus on?
Oh, I kind of hate that question.
I know you do.
And just because, number one, you know, your chiropractor is just another person. But I do think, just like when somebody says, Crystal, how do I talk to a salon? One thing I would say to start is, you know, if you're going to your chiropractor and they own their own practice, they're already a business owner. They are most likely not looking to do another business. Or if they're like me, they don't know that they're looking to do another business, right? So coming in and being like, and here's what you can do, and you could go Ruby, and da, da, da. Meet them where they're at. You know what? You could put some products on your shelves. Your patients would love the greens. This is a great product to help with stress. This is, you know, so I would just become friends with their front desk person, because that's usually the person really running the office, right? Become a good friend of that person, and take your chiro out to coffee and just say, you know what? Or just go in there and be like, you know what? Block out 20 minutes for me. I'm going to come in. I'm going to throw a wrap on them. Let them see what happens. Same as you go into a salon. Offer to wrap them and just sit down and chat with them. They're just a regular person, and just share with them what your favorite product is, what you think, what you know other products, other chiropractors are enjoying in their office. And I would say top products in other chiropractic offices, for sure, the greens. Probiotics now, if I was practicing, probiotics, the cleanse. I sold a ton of Confianza. The Relief is a great one. So there's so many good products that they could do. And what I did when I started, when I didn't really have the vision of I was going to do more, is I kept like one of everything in my office. And then when I had somebody, and then I kept greens on the go too, and I would sample those out. But when I had somebody that I thought this would be good for them, you know, I never had a problem recommending a product for somebody, because they're coming to me because I'm the expert. So if I truly, in my heart and soul and my brain, know that this product is going to be good for them, I'm going to tell them that. And so I would just say, you know what, you really need to try this Confianza, da 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 da. I'd sell it to them retail. And then when they came back to me and said, that stuff is amazing, I'd be like, I know. And let me tell you how you can save money so you don't have to buy it from me here. And that's how, I mean, I still have, 5 years later, people who were patients in my office that still order from me every single month. Their auto ship comes out. So Does that help?
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So I love when you share your story that you usually will say something crazy happened. You started following up with people. That was a big shift in your business. And I know that that's something that a lot of people struggle with. They're afraid to follow up. Not only are they afraid to follow up, they don't follow up enough. They'll follow up one time and they get crickets and then they're kind of done. So what are kind of some of your top tips as far as follow-up, or maybe what are some of your favorite things to kind of say to those questions that we get all the time? Just give us a couple of your follow-up tips.
All right. The fortune is in the follow-up. Gosh, if I could go back over the last 5 years and change so many things about my business and what I did, follow-up would be one of them. People need to be offered an opportunity, I would say on average 9 times. I've heard anywhere from 7 to 21 times before they say yes. That doesn't mean I'm messaging them 21 days in a row, but that means that I'm keeping track and I'm thoughtful and I'm doing something when I say I'm going to do it. So when I would message people, I picked up the phone. I picked up the phone and I was like, I didn't expect anybody, first of all, when I first started doing it, to answer the phone. I specifically remember calling them on a Thursday afternoon. And I was like, oh my God, people are home. Oh my God. Like, I didn't know what to say. And that almost made it better because I think it made me really real and really human. Like, people don't want to talk to somebody that's a robot, right? They want to talk to somebody who's excited, who they can tell actually cares about them, who wants to do something for them. So it depends on what you're following up with them about, obviously. But if, like, say I did an event, I'd just be like, hey, Crystal, it's Pam. I met you at the fair. I know you said you wanted to tighten and tone, and I am booking wrap appointments, and I would love to help you use that coupon. Let's set a time to get together so I can come out and wrap you. Done. Not, were you interested? Do you think you'd want to? Would you, like, nope, here's what you said you wanted to do. Let's do it. I think you need to come from a place of certainty and of boldness and confidence, knowing that you have something that they want. You have something that they need. You have something that's of value to them. And when you have that certainty and confidence behind you, they'll know that. But if you're coming after them, if that sounds terrible, if you're following up with people purely out of desperation, people will know that too. So have the right intention of what you're doing when you're following up. And usually what I do, I follow up with people. I follow up right away, then a week out, then 2 weeks out, then monthly. Monthly. And you just have to figure out what works for you. I've tried so many different things. But like, I back through and looking at my Facebook messages, and I was mortified because, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. Yeah.
So I remember being mortified looking at my Facebook messages because I'm like, I told them I would call them next Tuesday, and that was 2 years ago. They're not going to work with me because you know what I mean? Like, you have to be good at following up with people. And I'm telling you, when you do it consistently, and consistency is key, you will have success. You will have success, plain and simple.
Absolutely. I don't remember where we saw this from. It was from one of our corporate events, but I just pulled it up because it was a picture about follow-up, and I don't even remember who said it. I don't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so it's 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of people make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop, and only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. And I'll post that in our group page. But I mean, I think that's the biggest mistake that a lot of people make, is they just don't follow up enough. So follow up is so important and so huge in this business.
So for my period of time of crappy follow up, to all of you on this Zoom, you are welcome, because I probably advertised for you, so you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you do when you don't follow up. You're basically opening the door for somebody to swoop in and close that deal because they're going to be the fourth contact. They're going to be the fifth contact and so on and so forth. So yeah, don't make that mistake of not following up with your prospects. So bad. Okay, so let's talk about your biggest regret, because you said earlier, one of your biggest regrets in this business is not going to conference. And I think that's important to talk about because we know conference is going to be announced any day now. I'm assuming it'll be announced this month, but if not, for sure next month. So let's talk a little bit about that and why you regretted that decision.
Yeah, obviously when I made the decision to not go to conference, I wasn't invested and I had no vision, and I'm not sure why that changed. Actually, I kind of have an idea why that changed, and I'll share that funny story with you in a little bit, because who cares what your motivation is? Sometimes you just need something to power you up and make you go. And I have kind of a quirky little story. But, so my first corporate event ended up being the summer after I went triple diamond, and Christina was there and Crystal was there, and that was the Diamond Days, if you guys remember that. And then I was blessed and went to Dash that year. And then the next year conference was my first. And I really believe that had I gone to that first conference and saw the vision, got to know corporate, what they were about, saw the vision. I already know, I've been to so many chiropractic seminars, events, like I understand the power of an event from that perspective, but I wasn't invested and ready to go with this business. And the reason it's my regret is I really believe that even though my business is in a good place now, I believe it'd be in a much different place had I have gone and had that vision. And I'm just going to be brutally honest, is I'm not even sure how I went triple diamond. Obviously I knew what I was doing as far as I was recruiting people, and I placed appropriately, and I did a lot of things that I think some other people thought I was crazy doing, but I just kind of ran with it. And I was very fortunate that I had some other people on my team that were doing the same. And I truly was ignorant on fire about a lot of things, but I didn't have the business sense behind it and whatever. And I kind of feel like when I got to that place of triple diamond, and I don't know why, if it's because some momentum stopped or whatever, it almost was a little bit of, and I'm ashamed to say this, like, I've arrived. Yeah, I've got there, and you can't do that with that business. Like, I don't have any other way to describe it. It's not like I thought I was better or anything like that, because that's not the case. I just thought, like, I'm doing good. I've made it. And I backed off tremendously. And had I had caught that vision, I just think that would have been different. And I believe that maybe it wouldn't have happened that summer or that spring, but I think the following year, I probably would have busted a move and went ambassador that year. Like, it took the wind out of my sails for sure, for lack of better reference. I don't know. So getting there, you can't make somebody be vested. You can't make somebody see the vision, but maybe it's even just, if somebody would have, and this is with nothing to do with anybody else, but if somebody would have called me and been like, oh my God, Pam, it's so much fun. We go out and we do this. Like, if somebody would have done that, Sarah and I were like, should we, shouldn't we? We were partners in crime at the time. But we both enjoy having a good time. Like, I like to have a good time. If somebody would have said, oh, no, I probably would have went, because all I was lacking was the plane ticket, and it wasn't expensive. And so if you have that person in your business who you see that fire in them, they need this opportunity, whatever, use whatever you can to help make them see. It's not even like, oh, this will change your business, because if you're not there, maybe that's not the thing that's going to get you there, but maybe that person's a blue. Like, oh my gosh, you have to go. They have the best parties. No. Or maybe they follow one of these people that are really popular on social media, like Susan Wade or Tiffany Herr, Jocelyn Yates. Oh, we're totally going to meet Jocelyn Yates. Like, whatever it takes to get somebody there, pile in a room, get in the car, get your butt down there, because it will change your business. I promise you it'll change your business.
Yeah, absolutely. We always tell people like, there's no college for it works. Like there's nowhere to learn how to be successful and it works. So I think changing your mindset that conference is like your college. So it's an investment. You're learning how to be successful in this business. And just, I know sometimes people hear it and they think, oh, that sounds so cheesy, but friendships, fun, and freedom, like that is truly what the event is all about. You're going to create the strongest bonds and create friendships that become family at this event just because of what you go through together. The fun, the parties, the atmosphere, like it's one of the funnest things I've ever been involved in. And then the freedom, you're going to catch the vision on this vehicle that can give you financial freedom. So, if there's one thing, and I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I say it over and over again, if there is one thing that I can just beg you to do for your business this year, it's to get to conference, because you really will catch that vision and see what you have your hands on with this thing. So that's awesome. So let's talk about real quick, some of your maybe just one or two of your best tips for a brand new distributor who's just getting started, because we're going through BOGO right now. We have a lot of people jumping on board. What would you tell those people that maybe this is the first Zoom they've been on?
I would just say, be excited. Be excited. Be brave. Take that 10 seconds of crazy courage and do something that, like, push that enter button on your post. Call those couple of people that would be awesome, but the thought of calling them makes you want to vomit. Like, those are the things you need to do. And do not wait until you think you know everything. Do not wait until you get your kit and you can study and whatever. Just go. Just do it. I promise you, there is nothing special about me. Nothing special about me. And I went Ruby in 9 days. I didn't know what the bleep I was doing, right? I was just excited. I was excited. I wasn't really even, I was excited about the wraps, but nothing else. Like, not like I'm excited about things now. And so you got to get out of your own way. You have to be bold and be consistent. Remember, even if you decided that you were going to do this business to make enough money to pay for your product every month, it's a business. To make enough money to pay for your product every month, you have to treat your business like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you will get hobby results. If you treat it like a business, you'll get business results. And with that, figure out what your goal is. If your goal is to get that rupee bonus, if your goal is, I want to go double diamond, if your goal is, I'm going to walk the stage next year, then work your business every day what your goal is, not how you feel. You might not feel like getting up and messaging those however many people. You might not feel like finishing up your 6 list. You might not feel like staying up 30 minutes late because you said you were going to do this, this, and that. You might feel like you're bothering somebody because you're messaging them again. But those are the things that set the people that are reaching their goals apart from the people that are stagnant and treading water, or maybe sinking a little bit, right? Work your business for what you want, for what your goals are, not how you feel today. And that's been a big thing. I'm just gonna keep going. Is that okay? Like, I get all excited. Do you shut me down if you need to, Crystal?
No, you're good. Go. Go.
Because what happens when you work your business, and if I sound like a broken record, take note of that, because when somebody says something multiple times, there's probably something to it, right? There's probably something to it. So if you hear Crystal, you should go get this, when Christina says, the strangest secret changed my business, you should probably listen and take note to what these people are saying. So here's the deal. If you're consistent and you're treating your business like a business and you're working every day for what you want, not how you feel, that means you're taking action. And when your action goes up, your results will go up. And when your results go up, your belief will go up. And when your belief goes up, gosh, you're probably going to start taking more action. Like, it's can you see how that cycle goes? But it's a slippery slope too, because the opposite goes. So remember, you know, if you're just in and you're like, gosh, I've got 3 days left to get my 4 loyal customers, I'm feeling frustrated. Okay, first of all, get over it. Crystal never even got her 4 loyal customers in her first 30 days. So wah, whatever. But what will get rid of that feeling for you is taking action. Action is what changes everything. It'll fire you up, and then you'll start to get even more excited because you'll find a buzz you haven't had for a very long time with your business because you're seeing results, right? So you just got to get out there and you got to get it done. You know, look and see what successful people are doing. What's Crystal doing? What's Amelia doing? What's Judy doing? What's Christina doing? What are these people up to? Well, gosh, they're pretty consistent, aren't they? Social media isn't their only part of their business, but you don't see them missing a beat, right? So think about that. If you want those results, you have to be willing to put in that work.
Amen. I love it. Okay, so let's talk to those people right now that maybe they feel like they're in a rut. So have you ever been in a rut in your business? And
no. No, never.
So when you're in a rut and things just aren't working, what do? What is your tip for people that are maybe in that place?
So, you have to work on yourself first of all, and that doesn't mean stop your business while you work on yourself. But if you're not feeding your mind and your soul and your heart every day, you could get eaten up very quickly in this business or in this world for that matter. So getting some personal development in is big. Plugging in is big. And what that means is don't isolate yourself. If you're going through a rut, it's really easy to withdraw and stay to yourself, and it's the worst thing that you can do. So show up to an event, get on a team Zoom, call your sponsor, call your upline, and reach out to people. You're not alone in this. These people have all gone through similar things. And although it can be easy to like negativity, you know, it snowballs and becomes quick, but these are people that will most likely be able to kind of help shut it down for you. And that's what I remember, like when I feel that negativity creeping in and I hear those voices and I'm like, oh, of course they didn't, whatever. I'm like, that's the devil talking. I mean, that's just the enemy coming in, whatever. And I shut it down as quickly as I can. And then I move on to the next, because and I've gotten sucked into that before, and it's a hard thing to get out of. So the quicker you can shut it down, the better. But again, the only thing that's going to get you out of that is taking action. And I'm going to share with you what I started doing this summer, and it has absolutely changed my business. And this year has been, I don't want to say rough, but just like, oh, here's another year where I didn't promote, I didn't meet my goal, blah, blah, blah. For Crystal, and I'm thrilled. My dang internet, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, I can hear you now. We could be in a commercial. So, you're thrilled for these people, these friends of yours that are doing well and succeeding and going after their goals, but there is that part of you that's like, God, what is wrong with me? Like, why isn't that happening for me? And again, that's the devil talking and whatever. And so I kind of had an epiphany in my business this summer. I'm very blessed to have become friends with some different leaders in this company, and so I saw this group of girls. They're all triples and presidentials, and they created their own little group. It was like their own push group and or not push group, but like I think they called it Mission Possible or something, whatever. And one of the people in the group is Amanda Miranda, who's a triple diamond out on the East Coast. And Amanda and I know each other, and I was basically messaging her and whining. I'm like, so it just makes me jealous that you guys have this, and I wish I had people like that. And you know how, like, does anybody else get that way ever? Is it just me? So Amanda's like, well, start your own. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time for that. That sounds exhausting. And so I like sat on it for a couple days, and I was like, okay, well, something's got to change. So I guess I'm starting my own. And so I just messaged a bunch of people on this page I'm on, other triples and presidentials, and isn't it interesting how we keep a lot of things to ourselves? Like if you're struggling a little bit, what you see on social media is everybody's highlight reel, right? Oh, my life is perfect. Wish you were a part of it. The truth is we all have crap going on. We all have baggage. We all figure it out, okay? So turns out that everybody else's highlight reel wasn't maybe as spectacular as they were saying either. And so we came together and we spent some time getting to know each other. And I was just like, you know what? Like, does anybody else want to do a 90-day push with me? If you're familiar with Eric Worre and Network Marketing Pro, he talks about the 90-day push. And honestly, when I went triple diamond in the business, I did a 90-day push without knowing what I was doing. It's what I did. I basically eat, slept, and breathed. It works while I was practicing, dealing with 3 kids, you know, da-da-da-da-da. That's what I did. And they're like, yeah. And so we started this push group with our teams, and we just invited people in our teams. They had to do certain things. And I think I've got about 30 people on my team that are in this push group. And there's, I don't know how many leaders. There's 20-some leaders. There's probably like 900 people in this push group. That doesn't mean there's 900 people working, right? Because even of my 30, they're not all working. But what we did is we came together as a community and a group, and we just decided we were going to go for it. And whether one person showed up to one of our Power Hour Zooms or one person showed up to an opportunity call we did or whatever, we were going to do it anyway because we decided we were going to do it for ourselves, and we came together. And what it has done for me has been amazing because it has gotten me back on track with my business of taking massive action. And I'm not saying that all I do is it works. Like I block time out in my afternoons and evenings because I'm a mom. I'm a busy mom. My kids are so stinking busy. But I'm working crazy hard. I'm staying up late. I'm getting up early. I'm doing more than I've ever done before. And my business is booming like it hasn't done in a very, very long time. And so it's really awesome because the truth is my volume sucks right now. Like it sucks. Anybody else have low volume right now? Anybody else struggling a little bit with that? Okay, it is what it is, right? I'm not going to magically change it. But what I know is, and what's making me feel so excited and feel so great is, number one, I'm signing stuff. What is it? It's September 13th. I finished my Steps to Success today. But it's because I've been consistent. Nothing earth-shattering. I've just been following up with people. And, you know, it's kind of that thing of what you put out, you get back. Magically, people are messaging back on Instagram who I haven't messaged since February or March. Oh, hi, I just saw this. Do you have a challenge going on I could be a part of? Well, you know what? I do have a challenge you could be a part of. Let's talk. And I'm getting them signed up. But what I know is, and that I think is important for you guys to know, is the boom in your business comes January, February, March, April, right? And you see all these people promoting whatever. But those people aren't promoting because of what they did January, February, March, April. Those people are doing that because of what they're doing now. So if you're waiting to start working till it's New Year's, you're missing the boat. And yeah, you'll have some success in your business, but I promise you that by working consistently and hard now, you will soar come January, February, March, April. Like it'll put you on a different level that you haven't been before with your business. And that's why when I say I've never been so excited about my business, I just haven't, but I am taking crazy, consistent action, and it's paying off for me. And it's fun when you see the other people in the push group, those people that are on my team, and here there's a couple that are in the push group too, I think would agree, like it's brought a vitality back to their business and an excitement back to their business that they haven't had for a long time. And I'm not saying that you have to be part of some push group or whatever, but why the heck not? Why not team up with some people and do something great together and be in it together? And, you know, we made a rule with this group of leaders. We started our own little page, and it's called Real Leaders, where we can keep it real, right? But we also made a rule that anytime you come with something negative, you darn well better come with a solution, because negativity spews and feeds. and there's no gossip, there's no chat, there's no whatever. You can come there and complain or have a frustration, but you come with a solution so that we can help you do something about it. And getting with like-minded people, there is nothing else like it. And you guys, all of you can do that together. Again, I promise you there is nothing special about me except that I'm the person that said yes. I said, yes, you know what? I don't necessarily want to organize all these leaders and this schedule of all this craziness that we're doing, but I'm going to do it because I'm worth it and my kids were worth it. And because I said yes and did it, my business has changed. So there you go.
I love it. That's awesome. So just like one or two more questions. We always talk about how important it is to work on your headspace and your mind and grow. Because I know just from experience, this business will never grow bigger than you are, where you are as a person in your personal development or whatever it may be. And as a leader too, because I know there's people on this call that are starting to have a really large team. They've never had that before. And, we share a lot that you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill yourself up first before you can pour into others. What are some of your top things that you like to do to get inspired or fill yourself back up, whether it's a specific thing or just things you like to do and practice?
I am a reader, so I definitely like to do a little bit of reading every day. I just got done reading Stephen Furtick's Unqualified, and it was fabulous. There's so many books we all could recommend, but that was fun. And now, what am I reading? The Power of Imperfection or something like that. I have Post-it notes all over the place, which again is not a new thing for me, because actually when I started my chiropractic practice, I had Post-it notes everywhere about how my practice was going to be and whatever, and I made all my goals when I opened. But I have them, if you look around my house, I have them everywhere. My husband's really good about helping me shut it down. I get kind of pissed off at him sometimes because I'm like, I can't, just let me be for a minute, whatever. And he's like, I'm just saying. I'm like, whatever. But it does help bring me back to, okay, that's just the devil talking. I really work to surround myself with like-minded people. And that's kind of a tough one sometimes because as many of you, I'm sure, like I have a really large circle of friends in different areas of my life. And you do outgrow your friends, right? And there's been some people that I've had to just not spend as much time with or not pour into as much because, what do they say? You are, like, look at the 5 people you hang around with. Those are the top 5 people that you're going to be like. And so probably, with all due respect, don't want to hang around 5 homeless people, right? Like, I want to be choosy about who I hang around with, so that they're lifting me up and empowering me. And so I just do a little bit of everything. I've been for a long time listening to The Strangest Secret every day by Earl Nightingale. So thank you, Christina and Crystal. That's just been such a great thing to listen to. And I think so you just got to do something every day. It doesn't have to be huge, but I try to give myself at least 10 to 15 minutes of reading and whatnot. And again, I'm okay reaching out to people and being like, you know what, today sucks. Like, I need somebody to pick me up a little bit. I was going to say one other thing too. Oh, it'll come to me. I'll blurb it out. But I just know in my core being, more than I ever had before, that I have been created for so much more greatness than what I've done so far. And it's been me that has stopped me and nobody else. And it's interesting too, like I think we all have these different places we come from different families of origin and whatever. And I actually had, what month was it that Pam Souter was here for that One Team One Mission? Was it in May?
Yeah, I think it was in the spring. I think it was May.
Okay, anyway, Jill Vadney and I went out to lunch with Pam. And we were just kind of talking, and she was sharing with me, and Pam's not afraid to say whatever she needs to say to me, or to anybody for that matter. And she was like, well, let me ask you a question, Pam. And I'm like, okay. She was, how much money would you be making if you were still practicing chiropractic? And I'm like, yeah, probably what I'm making right now is triple diamond. And she went, isn't that interesting? And she gave me a couple stories that went with that. But we create our own mind blocks. So just doing a little bit every day to help get you out of that, and being very self-aware then of what you are saying and what you are thinking, because you want to be thinking and saying those positive thoughts and surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so last question, and then I'm going to open it up for just a couple minutes of questions. We'll keep this under an hour for sure. But we always tell people, you know, sometimes when their business isn't growing, it's because they get so caught up on getting on all these training videos, or learning how to be productive on Facebook, or watching videos on how to do a party or how to blitz, whatever it may be. And it always comes back to your business is going to grow when you're doing income producing activities. So what is maybe your top 1 or 2 income producing activities that you make sure that you do for your business every week or every day, whatever it may be?
Open your mouth, because there's only 2 ways you can fail in this business. It's by quitting or not telling anybody you're doing it. You have to open your mouth, and that can look a lot of different ways. That can be social media, that could be blitzing, that could be doing an expo, that could be an event, that could be wearing your shirt and somebody, you know, drinking your greens at a ball game and somebody's like, what are you drinking? Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Opening your mouth is an income producing activity. But you have, in my opinion, you have to have a plan of it. Okay, so what's my goal? If I'm going to primarily utilize social media for my business, how many people am I going to open my mouth to every day? How many people I'm going to message? How many people am I just going to be friends with? How many people I'm going to add on Facebook? How many people I'm going to follow up with? How many customers am I going to follow up with to see that they're loving their product? Like, set yourself a goal of what you're going to do. And then my guess is that you should probably be doing more than that, right? I'm not saying everybody has to go, as Josh would say, balls to the walls, but even if, when you're full-time and you're, you know, have a crazy life or whatever, I promise you can do more than what you're doing right now. So that would be my top one for sure. An income producing activity on top of that. I would just say also being a product of the product is such a big income producing activity. And then obviously you can utilize that by sharing posts and having stuff out and whatever. But the deal is that if you're not using your product, how are you going to fall in love with the product that you're going to be excited enough that you want to share it with somebody? I don't care if you have 100 distributors on your team. If you don't have any customers, you have no business, because you have no volume. And, you know, I'm not saying you have to be a supermodel. God knows that I'm nowhere close. But, you know, so maybe you're struggling with whatever. Fall in love with the skincare. Tell people how much better you feel as you're on your journey. Like, be okay with who you are and where you are. And yeah, you might have a hater here and there, but shut them down. Who cares? I actually have a story about a hater. Is that okay if I share it just to help people? So this is just me being really real again. So, you know, I'm on my journey. My journey with my weight and everything's like this, pretty much. It is what it is. But I was in New York.
Oh, shoot. She'll be back.
And I fluctuate and whatever. So I have a story. Oh,
you're good now. You're good now.
Stupid internet. Okay, I'm sorry. So, you know, I have a story, and you might, looking at me as a passerby, you might go, oh, and it's something I struggled with for a while, because I remember thinking, what are people going to say when I give them a Blitz card? And they're like, hey, fatty, what are you doing giving me a Blitz card? Whatever. But I got over it, because I'm like, they don't know me, whatever. So I'm at this hair show, and this mom and her daughter came by, and I'm talking to them, whatever. And actually a former distributor was there as well, and she was pregnant. She didn't really look pregnant. She just looked a little bit bigger at the time. And so they're like, yeah. And then they all of a sudden, they like literally reversed their steps and came back to the table, and they're like, I just need to ask you a question. And I'm like, sure, you know, thinking it's gonna be a product question, whatever. She's like, well, you know, my sister and whoever else it was does this, and I just need to know, why is everybody that does this, it works in fat? And I was like, wow, whoa, I'm glad you asked. And I whipped out, I had my lanyard and I had my before and after on it. And I'm like, I am so glad you asked. She said, isn't it interesting how we're all on a different journey? And if you didn't ask, you'd never know, huh? You'd assume. And so I showed her like my before and after picture, and she was like, oh. And then, you know, in my head, I'm like, don't you feel dumb? But I was okay with it because I knew where it was at. And then she said the same thing to the other girl there, and she was like, she started crying. She goes, I don't really know what to say because I'm like 5 months pregnant. And then this lady was just mortified. But the thing is that you might not think you're good enough to be doing this business. You might not think you have the right body to do this business. You might not think you've got a salesperson or whatever. You all have a gift. You all have something special that God has given you. And so don't let your self-limiting beliefs keep you from the greatness that He has created you for. You got to get over yourself and be okay with whatever might come your way. And just be willing to move on from that. It is okay. So, but you know, because I had that story and I was a product of the product, I was able to shut her down. That's the point of it. Okay.
I love that. I love that story because I know that's something that can sometimes hang people up in this business because they're not where they want to be. And so they get so caught up in that, or they get so fearful of blitzing. So I love when you share that story because I think it's just so real, and it's a great way to take something and just kind of, maybe I do want to say that if somebody's being rude, just kind of throw it back in their face and be like, here's the deal. And you're just like you said, they're going to feel dumb. So I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Pam. This was so awesome. This was such a great Zoom. You're such a rock star. Let's just take a couple minutes. We'll be done before 10, but just open it up to any questions that anybody may have for Pam. I definitely want you guys to take advantage of it. Everybody's saying, love you, Pam. You're pumping me up.
I love you guys. Hey, when you're done recording, if everybody wants to stay on, I have a funny story to tell you, but you don't need to get it on recording.
Okay.
I don't like to talk or anything, though, so you can go.
Right. Well, any questions before we stop?
Yeah, questions. Why don't ask me a chiropractic question again? I love that.
I had to, because it's just like, especially when I was in the salon more, that was always the first thing that people asked. So we had to, we had you on.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, if you guys have questions, you just have to hit your little microphone to unmute yourself. Don't be shy. We don't want dead air time.
Hi, I've got a question.
Go for it.
Can you hear me? My thing might cut out. It's been going on and off since we started. What do you do in a situation when you have a new distributor and they're all in, and you give them, all what needs to be done and set up their auto ship, and everything's going great, and then all of a sudden they disappear within even like before their kit shows up, or in a week or two, and then they see your message like, hey, how you doing? Need some help? Blah blah. How many times do you keep messaging them? I had this happen to me today.
Oh, I think that all the leaders here, everybody could say that, we've all had our share of kidnappers.
Yeah.
And people that go into the witness protection program, you think that they are the next Ambassador Diamond, and they are going to the top. And then, you can't get a hold of them, whatever. So, here's the thing is that I'm going to follow up with them. I'm going to send them a message, but I'm not going to wait for them because I'm running with or without them. And so what can hold us back sometimes is we're trying to revive the dead when what we need to do is give birth, right? If they're not going to message me back, I'm not going to wait for them. I will just send them a message and say, you know what? I've tried to message you. I'm not sure what's going on. You seemed excited. Haven't heard from you. I just want you to know when you're ready, I am here. And then, maybe I'll send them. I'm in love now. Do you guys know what GIFs are on messages? The GIF? I love the GIFs. So maybe I'll use, does everybody know what that is? Kinda? Okay. So I love the one, I use this for potentials too, where it's like the little mermaid coming on the rock and it says, Megan. Or there's one where there's like a cat, and that, pretend this is the shelf, there's like the cat sitting there with its nails. And you could just say something in there like, it's just me sitting here waiting for you. I'm ready when you are. That's it. But I wouldn't spend much more time on that. But sometimes even that funniness can get somebody to respond a little bit.
And it's happened before, but the dilemma is I had customers, if I was signing up, I was going to place them under him.
So don't.
But if I had not caught that he turned off his auto ship, he turned off his website, but he didn't cancel all the way, I'm still hesitant to use that spot. So what would you?
Don't.
Okay, I'm not gonna, because I actually have another lady lined up tonight, so I'm not gonna.
Yep. I think that's what we would all do. And she kind of froze up a little bit, but all right, awesome. Anybody else have any other questions?
Thanks, it cut out. Sorry,
Did I freeze? Was that me? God.
it cut off.
Somebody needs to fire my IT guy. That's my husband.
Anyway, thanks for the answer, because I was in a little dilemma today.
You are welcome. Anybody else have any questions?
Going once.
Come
Going
on.
twice. All right, thank you guys. I'm going to stop the recording, and anybody who wants to stay on for Pam's funny story can.
I'm such a loser. I'm sorry.